I'm Chris Yannick. Today on CYInterview, we welcome back Las Vegas showrunner, producer, choreographer, and dancer, the one, the only Jennifer Romas. You know her from Excite the Show and Sexy the Show. Jennifer is in California. Jennifer, thank you so much for joining us today on CYInterview. How are you?
I'm wonderful. I'm in California and it's bright and sunny. What could be better than that today?
This is a beautiful way to start the morning. And also with us today is CYInterview sponsor, the founder of Epic Financial Strategies LLC, Mr. Rob Gill. Rob, thank you so much for joining us as always. How are you, sir?
I'm doing very well, Chris. Thank you so much. It's a little bit rainy here. It's not sunny in California, but I'm doing good. And I'm glad to be on this Zoom together.
Yeah, absolutely. No denying that. So just to begin, Jennifer, why don't you tell me about the award your show in Las Vegas just received? How would you sum up 2023 and for yourself, for your show, and Las Vegas overall?
That's a big, huge question to start things off. First of all, I do. If people did not know, we actually won for Best of Las Vegas, Best Female Review for the show Excite. And I was pleasantly surprised, just being a new show, technically opening up right when the voting kind of came around and things like that, you know, not building up a super huge fan base like we had for Sexy and things like that. People and our fans and friends and things really came to bat for us and voted. And we are very, very proud and very, very happy to take that accolade home along with Fantasy and I think Centerfolds. So, you know, now we can put that under our belt with Sexy in terms of Best Female Review. And it was a beautiful way to I guess, end the year out and have that going for us. The team is absolutely so well deserved, and I'm so proud of them. So again, thanks to all of our friends and family and fans.
And you're going to have a big early surprise in 2024, correct?
Surprise. Yeah, I hope to have a couple big surprises in early 2024 that we are working on behind the scenes with projects and of course Excite and Sexy and some new things happening. So hope to be able to blast those out with you very, very shortly. But right now we're still kind of working out some details.
So Jennifer, Rob is an ongoing visitor to Las Vegas. Rob, how would you sum up your time in Las Vegas this year and your 2023 overall?
Yeah, it was incredible. It was definitely structured business, ecosystem merger, not a lot of downtime, believe it or not. Every kind of minute was occupied, but it was all good. And we were there 2 weeks ago, I think, or 3 weeks ago. That was our last one. Yep. With a good friend of ours, David Meltzer. And it's Vegas is clearly where it's at. You can see that business is booming, and it's the place to be. There's no doubt about it.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, Jennifer. Thoughts on that?
Pardon?
Thoughts on that, Jennifer?
Oh gosh, well, just like you said, Vegas is definitely the place to be. I think with all of the you know, new hotels, the Fontainebleau just came out, and all of the sports teams happening. We've got, of course, football, which everyone knows now, the Raiders. We've got Super Bowl being held there. Yeah. You know, entertainment is growing. Bigger shows, bigger things. You know, the city is definitely changing. I still miss some of the smaller type venues and shows and things like that, but we are definitely the city of entertainment.
Yeah.
You know, Rob, the reality of what it comes down to, Jennifer is very humble, but if you were ever going to put on a Las Vegas production and know how to get it off the ground, put the concept together, put the marketing, you would go to her. She's one of those people. She's had numerous successful productions. She is a well-known person in Las Vegas. Everybody knows who Jennifer Romas is. She's on the scene. Everybody loves her, and she's just one of the most humble and nicest people. Just like you, you know, she started out, you know, as somebody working for somebody else and then built a business like you, a very successful business. So why don't you, Rob, tell me about like what it takes to go from being the individual working from somebody else to then becoming the business itself and being the one who runs it.
Rob, I think we need Chris to be our manager. like amazing.
Yeah, Chris is awesome. And I remember Chris from 2011, 12, 13, before he actually came to Vegas, him and his partner Jay, they saw the vision of actually what's happening right now. It's pretty incredible. But to answer your question, Chris, I think my journey is being a soldier first, right? Being a very good worker, having proximity to the folks that I want to be like, match what they're doing plus maybe 10%, and make sure that whoever my, let's say mentors are or top 5 is, what are they doing every day? So if I'm coming up in the business and I want to be like Jennifer, then I may work for free for Jennifer, or do everything I can to follow what she does, and always be connected to a greater why of why I'm doing it, not just for glamour, but more for, am I helping to make the world a better place? Am I doing things that are moving society forward? But I think in order to become a leader, you have to be a great soldier at first. And it has to be, at least in my opinion, tied to a why that makes you cry, right? Something down deep inside. Absolutely. And I think that if you understand time is a man-made construct, but have to live in a process mastery mindset, man or woman made construct, but have to live in a process mindset, process mastery mindset, then you want to be able to kind of bring it every day and have that internal juice that no matter what's going on, you wake up and you're ready to go and you're showing up. First part, showing up, and then showing up ready, and then get the right mentors.
I think that was very well said, Rob. So Jennifer, how do you go from being a dancer to a choreographer to a producer to a showrunner? What was that like here in Las Vegas for you, getting to that point?
Well, I think just to, like Rob said, like there has to be a why. Whether it's an outside source coming in or something internally, it's a passion within you to, you can't just want something. I don't believe that. You have to want something with a reason and want something with a why. And for me, life came kind of crashing down, as we all know, in terms of my dancing career. And I needed to find my why and figure out my why. And all of that happened in a much deeper thing than, hey, I'm going to be a show producer and thing. I really learned about myself. I learned about our community. I learned about helping others. I learned about what makes me tick. Why did I have this passion for dance? How can I teach people, and how can I grow, and who can I learn from with mentors and things like that, so that you become more of a whole person to put out, what it is, the message that you're trying to get. So I kind of believe, especially with Sexy, because there was such a deeper meaning behind that. It really was, of course, it was about the show and the glitz and the glam and the showgirls and this and that. But the message and the meaning for me was truly about, mostly for women, that being confident in your own skin and being passionate about being proud and comfortable with who you are. And that was kind of like the message and the wow factor of it, is because I was kind of going through finding myself at the same time. So in turn, I found people and individuals who were not only good performers, but also had a something in them that they needed to get out to the world as well. So I think in anything that we do, whether it be our jobs or teaching, and again, I'm at an age now too where I'm wearing different hats and not performing so much anymore, and there really is a lot more thought process into who I want to be and what legacy I want to leave here, and I think that's really important to kind of figure that out.
Rob, questions for Jennifer Romas?
Yeah, I'd like to add a comment to that first. I think that the power of anticipation is important. And I think that only if both of your feet are on the ground can you really begin to anticipate changes that could come. And for the folks that see the change before it's actually happening are the ones that are able to elevate and move up further and further along the way. That's the thought I had as she was describing, the journey that she had. My question to you, Jennifer, is where are you originally from, and how did all this start for you?
Well, I'm kind of going back to that, because my situation, I feel like I'm somewhat in fight or flight all of the time. And a lot of times, like, I feel like I've been pushed out of the airplane. I use this analogy a lot. Like, I've been pushed out of an airplane, and I'm kind of assembling the pieces on the way down. And sometimes I actually honestly function well that way. I think because there's a pressure and there's a certain stress that is like, I have to succeed. I have to figure this out. This has been been forced upon me, and COVID and things like that. Like, some people excelled and some people really didn't. And I think it's about kind of a matter of who you are. I plan. Very rarely does anything go the way I plan. And I have learned that. I'm a perfectionist. And so that's very, very difficult for me. But as I'm getting older, I'm learning, like, okay, you know what? This plan and path might not be working. So now I've got to go to B, C, D, E. But there's still a force, and there's still a passion, and there's still a drive. And that's when I kind of say, like, pushing me out of the airplane and assembling the pieces on the way down. I feel like that's kind of been my whole entire life.
Yeah. It sounds like the entrepreneur code. It sounds like you've probably been an entrepreneur since you were little.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Never,
So
never go
where do you see
back.
it? Where do you see yourself, especially with Vegas blooming and everything you're doing? What's the outcome for the next 3 to 5 years? Like, what does that look like?
Gosh, I'm really trying to. I got hit pretty hard this year, honestly, with some things. There are changes in Vegas, and I'm a very small company in a big, huge pond. And I think some of the smaller shows and entertainment and things like that are kind of getting passed over because we can't compete with a lot of the big things coming into town. So I'm really trying to, my ultimate goal is to have, because I built my company and it is my passion, is having these shows touring, these shows up and running in Vegas. But along with that, also getting involved in some other projects and things like that, where I'm teaching, the younger generation and maybe women of my age and things like that, who are kind of trying to figure things out and find themselves. So I'm working on a lot of projects this year outside of just the production show element. Of course, I want to get more into merchandising and all of those things and sales and like I said, the touring shows. But I think there's I want to start some podcasts. Maybe I would love to host some possible television shows about entrepreneurialism and growing brands and just kind of finding out people's story. I think everybody has a story.
True.
You have a great story, but I guarantee, I'm not you personally, but I'm just saying you in general, but everybody has a story. Everybody can learn from hearing somebody else's story or struggle or success and kind of learn from that.
Hey, Rob, this is a great transition to mention your upcoming book, Surviving Success, coming out next month.
Yeah. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Surviving Success is really about the journey that I've been on, along the mountain, right? You go up higher on the mountain and increase the base camp, but along the way you get punched in the face a little bit and how to figure out how to survive that, right? Jumping out of the airplane, right? And what that looks like each time and every way you go about it. So the journey talks about me as a young kid and growing up in the way I grew up in a blue collar neighborhood in New Jersey and working on Wall Street and having great mentors at one point there that kind of set the path and just climbing the wall of success and what that looks like as, a business owner, business partner, a dad, everything that comes to family and everything you could think of, but also people that work with you and maintaining great relationships and, being able to manage egos. And at the same time, there's a lot that goes into it and there's no book for that.
No.
You learn as you go and you just hope you don't make the same mistake twice. You make other mistakes, but as what we've noticed, each part of the rise, there's new challenges that you didn't know even existed until you got there, and you have to learn how to become a really good manager of not only your own expectations, but to your point, you may have all these plans. I call that the blueprint, and then you have the life condition, which never matches the blueprint. And how do you handle that?
Yep, absolutely. I guess do the best you can until you know better, and then do better.
Yes, and always help people. The magic for me is whenever I'm helping people, given with no expectation except appreciation, truly, that's when things are really good for me. When I get into self, that's when things get a little complicated.
I think also, too, by helping others, and not to be selfish, but by helping others, you actually are helping yourself.
Yes. Yes.
I agree.
Yes. And that's in the book as well. And it talks about financial education and understanding the educational system when it comes to money in America is really challenged and it's flawed. And a lot of people just do their business money dealings based on opinions without really the benefit of logic, math, and science. And, we want to be able to provide platforms for people to be educated. Number one, we have courses, video courses, but also why it's important when it comes to your money, time, freedom to have all your financial educators on the same page. So the right hand is speaking to the left hand. The accountant is speaking to the fiduciary or the insurance agent. And if that's not happening in anybody's world that's watching this right now, that's going to be a challenge at some point, especially when economic winter comes knocking on the door. Because as Jay Bilstein says all the time, there's no calamity bell warning. It just shows up.
Yeah. Jennifer's met Jay and spoke with Jay on a couple of occasions.
Yeah, Jay is the best. I love him.
Book.
Yeah, thank you.
Rob, and then finally, Jennifer, what's so interesting, you're responsible, of course, for a dance team doing their choreography correctly. Rob runs an AAU basketball league as well. Rob, talk about that.
Yeah, that's my passion. First of all, everything I do is my passion. But basketball was reborn in me with my kids. And but then I fell in love with all the other kids that reminded me of me when I was 15, 16, 17, who had no money. We ran out of money on the 20th of every month. And, we built a program that stands for kids that they don't have to be the best, although we have great players. But, I like the kids that are on the come up and maybe don't know certain things that I learned later on in my late 20s that I wish I would have knew when I was 15. So when it comes to education in basketball, we created a financial literacy course. And, I have coaches that are there to really train the kids in the game of basketball, not just like 3-point shooting, but the fundamentals of offense, defense, proper screens, proper things that are important when it comes to basketball. So that's really been a passion that started last March, really, and it still has legs, and we're having a lot of fun with it.
That's wonderful. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Jennifer, anything else you want to add about what's going on in Las Vegas with you that we haven't mentioned yet?
Oh gosh, let's see. I think just, it's an exciting time here. It really is. We just had the Formula One thing and it was a big thing. We just had that kind of go down, and just all the construction and growth and things like that. Our community is really growing and expanding, but again, I go back to the grassroots of everything in the community and what we stand for, and we still have a really close net of people and things that support our local team. So I'm very, very thankful for that, and I'm thankful for the successes and the struggles this year, because I know they will. You learn from that, as difficult as things may seem, or as great as things. So that is it. I just want to thank everybody for continuing to follow us. I want to thank you sincerely for being such,
You're most welcome.
Supporter, and pleasure to meet you, Rob, and best of luck to you.
You too, Jen.
Okay, so I'm going to leave it with this before we turn it back to Rob for his last reflection. Rob, as you could have mentioned, the entertainment business is up and down, going forward. Great stuff. Great. Jennifer, what has kept you going all these years? Everyone knows that you're just always going to be here. You just keep coming back stronger, next project, new projects, new productions. We can always expect Jennifer Romas to be here in Las Vegas.
What keeps me going all these years? Wow. I don't even know if I know how to answer that. I think honestly, it's just passion, and the undying, just the undying passion within to be and to be, inspiring to somebody and to motivate somebody, obviously myself, but it pushes me when I see others succeed or others having fun because of something that I had a part in. And I really believe that I'm afraid to fail. I hate to say that, but I know failure is part of all of this thing that we have going on, but I feel like I can't. I'm not allowed. I'm really not allowed. And that's me setting my own standards. So I think that's really it. Is just being someone that someone looks back on one day and says, "Wow, you did it," and because you did something or you overcame something, I know I can do it too. And I think that's the best gift, and that's the best message that we can give people.
Yeah.
Rob, final thoughts, hopes for 2024?
Yeah, I think that stepping into 2024, you're going to have your January 1st slogans. But, what's always worked for me is to have clear, defined goals in all areas of your life that are written out that you can read every morning and every night, whether it's your health, whether it's your dietary fitness, your business goals, also being able to figure out what's working and double down on that, but also have the courage to get rid of what's not working. And there's something magical about writing stuff out versus just thinking it. And there's something simple in incantations and repeating mantras that for me, if I start the morning off where I'm giving thanks to my higher power, and I'm always feeding my brain with information that's going to make me stronger. It's just about winning the day, but also visualizing what your success looks like and doing the best you can to be married to that emotion. And at the same time, surviving the success when it comes in. It's not what you make, it's how you keep it. And what that looks like in the future by touching other lives.
Jennifer, final thoughts, hopes for 2024?
I just have to say that is so important. My significant other is a huge believer in the planning and the writing. We have Brendon Bouchard's healthy thing or whatever.
I love Brendon Bouchard.
times. I have it in my purse. I just had to pull it out like every day, just read something positive. And
Yeah.
you have to lay out, you know, like you said, the new year coming out, everyone's like, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. But you should be doing it year long. It shouldn't just happen January 1st. You have to, you know, that doesn't work like that. You have to have a plan going throughout all of the time. And I think that's so important, self-reflection and growth. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Thought, Rob, before we close?
I'm just super grateful, Jen. It was so nice to meet you. Congratulations on your success. I'd love to, if I'm out there in Vegas, if we could all connect, that'd be great.
Absolutely.
And, thank you, Chris, once again for this beautiful journey that we've been on together.
Yep. So we'll leave it there with Las Vegas showrunner, producer, choreographer, and dancer Jennifer Romas, and CYInterview sponsor, the founder of Epic Financial Strategies LLC, Mr. Rob Gill. Thank you both for being on CYInterview.
Yes.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you for watching today's CYInterview segment from Las Vegas. Please hit the like button and please hit the subscribe button to be updated on all future CYInterview content from Las Vegas and beyond.